Alright guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Blego from Purple Mist Gaming. And today is a very special day. It's the Tuesday of the Mists of Pandaria pre-patch, a month before it's happening. I'm on my hunter right now, and I'm going to just be giving everybody kind of a rundown of everything that's new with the hunters, and kind of my opinion on what you should do in certain specs, and just kind of how stuff works. First off, I want to go ahead and show you something that if you guys have played a hunter before, this is extremely important. Yeah, check it out. No more dead zone, guys. I am shooting something that's point blank in my face. They have completely removed melee weapons, and now you are viable at melee distance. So when you're in PvP, then that warrior charges you, you're not useless when he's in your face, and when in the raid and your healers tell you to stack on the boss, then you can still do stuff without having to stray away from heals and end up dying. So this is all pretty cool. They did kind of an overhaul on hunters in particular, but right now I'm in Marksman Spec, and I've already spec'd some of my stuff in the tree, and really one thing that's cool is you're still going to be doing a lot of really consistent DPS depending on whatever way you spec, whatever you choose. These are mainly utility, and that's what Blizzard was going after. So I could have opinionated the worst of every ability and still be doing a fairly good and close to being consistent damage. But at this point I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I would spec in and show you those abilities and explain why for PvP and PvE situations. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Marksman spec, but because that's primarily what I do. But in a PvE situation here, these are the several spec points that I have spent. The first one is Posthaste, which the first three have something to do with your disengage ability, and Posthaste seems the best for PvE. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera, this one reduces the cooldown of disengage and deterrence, so that's going to be really good for PvP and arena, but not necessarily for PvE. Narrow Escape, when you disengage you also activate a web trap, which encases all targets within 8 yards in a sticky web. That could be kind of good in PvE, and like I said, it's going to be pretty preferential, but at this point I chose Posthaste, which gives you a 60% movement speed buff for 8 seconds after you disengage. But I felt that would be best because when you're disengaging out of something in a raid fight, then that movement speed is going to be really helpful to dodge mechanics or go to your group and stuff like that. Secondly, I actually have the wrong spec point here. I'm going to go ahead and remove that and choose this instead. Excuse me. For PvE, I'm taking Binding Shot over Silencing Shot. Because, I mean, and I'm going to leave Wyvern Sting out of this. It's basically the Hunter's version of a Rogue's Sap. It's just a 30-second incapacitation. That's what we have Rogues and Ice Trap for. That's what I say. But Binding Shot is it's pretty unique. It's new, for one, and I feel like it's going to be better in PvE than Silencing Shot will, seeing as how many other silences and interrupts other classes have. But Binding Shot, what Binding Shot is it's going to be really nice for crowd control and big bosses, like for example Magma, when the hunters are in charge of all those stupid little worms. Well, just throw one of these bad boys down. So what's going to happen? It's going to tether them. When they run a certain distance, it's going to stun them for 5 seconds. That's a long, good stun. Oh wait, I don't even need to jump around. There's no dead zone now. Okay, but like I said, I can show you guys a little bit, show that again in a little bit, but for PvE, I'm taking Binding Shot. Next set, we have Exhilaration, Aspect of the Ironhawk, and Spirit Bond. Well, this one was kind of tough, especially for PvE, but they all kind of benefit either defense or health regen. And at first, when I saw Aspect of the Iron Hawk, I was like, oh man, I'm taking this in PvE and PvP. But then I forgot that in PvP, you're always in Aspect of the Fox, so you can get that moving while casting your steady shots and your cobra shots. So I'm not really going to be using Aspect of the Iron Hawk. What this is doing is it's giving, in addition to the 10% damage boost you're getting from regular Aspect of the Hawk, you're also getting a 15% reduced damage taken from everything, which is really nice. But that's only going to benefit you much in PvE, because you need Fox in PvP. So I'm taking that in PvE. This is going with Exhilaration and Spirit Bond. Exhilaration is, it instantly heals you for 30% and your pet for 100%, and it's on a 2-minute cooldown. It's a good, nice panic type heal, but I don't think you're going to be needing that too much in PvE. That's why we have healers. And Spirit Bond, you regenerate 2% of your total health every 2 seconds while your pet is active. We'll go into that later, but I mean, like I said, that's why we have healers for, and this Aspect of the Iron Hawk buff is just going to help your healers out. Alright, this is a tough one right here, but I think I've got some good reasoning behind this. Dire Beast, Fervor, and Thrill the Hunt. Any of you Beast Mastery hunters, you know what Fervor is. Instantly restore 50 focus to you and your pet, in addition to 50 focus for 10 seconds. They actually gave that a buff. That's really good in Beast Mastery, because when you pop that Bestial Wrath, you can spam the shit out of an Arcane Shot without having to worry about running out of focus. But we're in Marksman, and even compared to Dire Beast, it's still questionable. But before we go on to that, I'll say Thrill the Hunt as well. You have a 30% chance when you fire a ranged attack, it costs focus, or kill command to reduce the focus cost of your next 3 arcane shots or multi-shots by 20. Again, that's going to be better for Beast Mastery. We're not really using kill command that much in the other specs, but it all doesn't compare as much to Dire Beast. Dire Beast summons a powerful wild beast to attack each target for 15 seconds. Each time the beast deals damage, you will gain 5 focus. That is huge, and look at the cooldown, folks. 30 seconds. That's why I'm saying for PvE, this thing's probably going to be optimal. That focus gain, in addition to another pet doing damage, is huge in PvE. Let's go ahead and give it a look. I'm going to target this guy. I don't even have to attack him. Here we go. See, just got a cool scorpion helping me out there, and I'm going to go ahead and burn a few buildings. Well, too bad he died fast. But as he attacks, he's gaining me focus, and he's doing a considerable amount of damage. It's a random pet. It's just a pretty cool ability anyway. You get a random guy each time, only on a 30-second cooldown. So I'm thinking for PvE, hands down, Dire Beast. And that's just going to be another part of your rotation. It doesn't even cost focus. It's just going to be another cooldown you have to manage. You're going through your rotation, when that comes off cooldown, you pop it. That's going to be helping your focus regen so much, and I honestly just think it is going to be the best thing for PvE. Now, the reason why I wouldn't take this in PvP, necessarily, maybe, but you know how pets work. I mean, like, at least this pet, he's got dash. He's going to pull gas towards something. I know he's in stealth, so he's going slower anyway. But, when you've got this big, slow pet target that's only active for 15 seconds, and he's running at an enemy player, it's not gonna help. It's not that effective. People see him, they're just gonna avoid him, or they're gonna CC it or something. But so that's my reasoning behind probably not using it in PvP, and maybe taking Fervor over that. But like I said, it's all preferential. Next one, they kind of changed this line around. For PvE, I'm taking Blink Strike over a Murder of Crows and Lynx Rush. Blink Strike is basically making your pet a rogue. It's like a rogue pet ambush. It causes your pet to instantly teleport behind your target from up to 40 yards away, and inflicting 600% normal damage, which is pretty huge, and I think that's going to be good for PvE. And even PvP as well. The other ones, I might take this as well in PvE. Lynx Rush it's basically Shadow Dance for your pets. It's your pet rapidly charges from target to target, attacking 9 times over 4 seconds, dealing 200% of its normal attack damage to each target. Now they actually buffed that, so that might be extremely viable. But the pet must be within 10 yards of each target to Lynx Rush, so that's also extremely viable, especially in AoE situations. It's on a 1.5 minute cooldown, compared to Blink Strike's 20 seconds, so more single target, which that's the way I like my hunters, is they're just putting out that heavy single target, quick, fast critting, you know. Boss fights, blink strike for sure. Now, I'm thinking for PvP, a Murder of Crows, which summons a flock of crows to attack your target over the next 30 seconds. Used on a target below 20% health, the cooldown is reduced to 60 seconds. They actually changed that up a little bit since they recently patched this too. But I'm thinking, like I said, when you send a pet after someone in PvP, it doesn't always get to them, they're easy to avoid. This is basically like Insect Swarm. So I'm going to go ahead and show this to you guys real quick. After I'll do Blink Strike first. But I might use this for PvP because the 20% health thing, that's going to be useful, and it's just going to be annoying. It really is, to have this flock of crows you can't get off you. They're doing damage. I think it's gonna be good. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate both Murder of Crows and Blink Strike before I go on to the 90 abilities, which I can't get yet, unfortunately. But here we go. Blink Strike. Boom. Like, that is just like a really good kill command. That hit really hard. And from your pets, that's good. And that's just another instant way to get your pet to someone. So that might, you know, this is actually just a really good line. And I know I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but these are pretty much all good. Except, I mean, Link's Rush is pretty much basically PvE. But these two could be used for both, honestly. So, let's go ahead and unlearn this. Learn this one. Yep, I want to learn that. And where to go? Murder of Crows, Murder of Crows, Murder of Crows. Okay, and it's going to be on like the last page or something. Oh, nope, it's the first one because it starts with A. That would only make sense, right? Okay, so this is my reason. You see someone, you don't have to send a pet. Boom. You just got crows coming in, helping you damage, and look, they're hitting pretty hard. And they were below 20% health. Oh, no they weren't. I was figuring I would get that cooldown reduction on it. But, see that? That was pretty useful, and that's just going to be a pain in the ass when it comes to PvP, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and unlearn this, go back to Blink Strike, because I'm in my PvE spec right now. And now, here we go. I'm sorry I can't demonstrate these to you, because this is only the pre-patch. We can't get to 90 yet, so I can't get any of these abilities here. But for the final 90 Hunter Ultimate abilities, there's Barrage, Powershot, and Glaive Toss. For PvE, I'm thinking most likely Barrage. You're getting a really solid amount of AoE and single target damage from one very short cooldown ability. Only 30 focus. Here we go. Rapidly fire a spray of shots forward for 2.78 seconds, dealing a total of 640% weapon damage to the enemy target and an average of 320% weapon damage to each other enemy target that's in front of you. Now, I'm pretty sure this is only every hunter's dream anyway, to be basically using a machine gun. But for PvE, I'm pretty much taking this hands down. The AoE damage is going to be great, and even the single target damage. It's only 30 focus, and you're doing 640% weapon damage, which is a ton. Especially on a 30-second cooldown. Now, for PvP, I'm taking Powershot, for sure. It's a 1-minute cooldown, and it's one of those cast time abilities that I feel is just going to be really fun. You wind up a powerful shot which deals 800% weapon damage to the target and 400% weapon damage to all enemies in between them and the target. Enemies hit by Powershot are also knocked back. Not only is that doing a ridiculous amount of damage to the single target, but it's knocking them back. After you've burned your disengage, your ice trap, whatnot, deterrence, everything you've got, and there's a warrior or a death knight, something bitchy in your face, you're gonna power shot. Not only are you gonna chunk their health, you're gonna blast them back. And that's gonna, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be pretty fun and trolly on maps and battlegrounds like Alterac Valley and Eye of the Storm. You're just gonna be sitting in the middle cap point, blasting people off the edge with power shot. Now, the final one that I haven't mentioned yet is Glaive Toss, which, it seems mediocre to me either way. It seems good, semi-good in PvP and semi-good in PvE. It's you hurl 2 glaives at a target, each dealing 3,400 damage to each enemy struck and reducing their movement speed by 30% for 3 seconds. Primary target will take 4 times as much damage from each strike. That's still a decent amount. And the glaives will return back to you, damaging and snaring targets again as they return. Now that could actually be better in PvP than I would think PvE. Now that could be some good AoE damage because it's just something that goes out and comes back like a boomerang and hits everything in front of you, so that could be good for PvE, but I just don't think it's going to be consistent. Granted, it's on a 15-second cooldown, but it does cost 15 focus, so spamming that is not going to be good. Now for PvP, the slow and the snare is going to be good, but I think it's going to be hard to land on anybody other than one person, because from the videos that I've seen and what I've used in the Mists of Pandaria beta, it's pretty slow and doesn't cover that much ground. So I'm thinking the reliable stuff is for sure Powershot and Barrage, but I can't say for sure, seeing as how I don't have the abilities. But, so that's pretty much it, guys. This stuff is really pretty cool. I'm really liking the overhaul Blizzard did with this new patch. And it's very... It helps out a lot that they added this in a month before the actual expansion came out, because I'm going to be overwhelmed enough as it is when it comes out. So they're kind of taking off some of that pressure. So I'll go ahead and review once more real quick. I'm not going to go wasting my dust of disappearances to relearn these for you guys. Those things, how they're up to 9 gold. That's pretty much pocket change, but still. So for PvE, we're taking Posthaste due to the movement speed buff after using Disengage. We're taking Binding Shot for that extra AoE CC on little mobs and stuff that you're going to need for raid fights. We're taking Aspect of the Iron Hawk to help your healers out and just take flat reduced damage by anything. We're taking Dire Beast for that extra damage and that huge gain of focus. And we're taking Blink Strike for that extra reliable instant damage on a single target. Oh, and I forget Barrage that we're going to take once we hit 90. And now for PvP, we have Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera, because, especially in Arena, 10-second cooldown, Disengage is pretty overpowered in my eyes. And then a 60% or 60-second cooldown timer reduce on Deterrence. Honestly, that's only a 2-minute cooldown. You can Deterrence once a minute. That's going to be extremely useful in Arena and Battlegrounds. Now, instead of using Binding Shot in PvP, we're going to be using Silencing Shot. You got Silence, it's only a 20-second cooldown, it's free. You're going to be needing that to take down those healers or anybody, mages, whatever's casting something you need to keep them from doing. It's going to be good. Then for PvP, we're taking Spirit Bond. I forgot to go back to that. Exhilaration could be good, but it's on a 2-minute cooldown. And I feel like, especially in Battlegrounds, having 2% health regenerated every 2 seconds? That's really good. Do the math here, folks. I mean, that's only, what, like 50 seconds? Am I right? I mean, I'm pretty bad at math, but at 50 seconds to be 100% health? That's not a long time in Arena or Battlegrounds. And that sure as hell is a lot more than 30% health every 2 minutes. So, sorry for getting all into that one, but, and then here we've got, for PvP, we're taking probably Fervor, especially we're in Beast Mastery, but if not, Thrill of the Hunt or Dire Beast are both viable. That's a very questionable one. And then, this is another tie here, for PvP, we're taking a Murder of Crows and possibly Blink Strike. But I'm thinking a Murder of Crows at this point, even due to the 2-minute cooldown. And then, finally, Powershot for the knockback and straight pure damage that we're getting. And keep in mind that is a cast time, requires 20 focus. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this helps you hunters out. They're easily my favorite DPS characters in the game, and they're getting better now that they've removed Dead Zone, and they're adding a bunch of really cool abilities into the game. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you need any more help with any other classes, let one of the Purple Mist crew know, and we'll definitely try and make a video to help you guys out. See you guys.